Shout out to Vivid Racing. So this is a sound example of the RCF, which we'll be going over today. I just want to start off with the sound, see if you guys will, I'm just switching things up, see if you appreciate having some sound clips at first, just to see exactly what we're going to be getting into today. But now I have a drive-by, fly-by kind of style video. You can see some outside action of it on the road. I'll turn on my camera. But you hear how amazing this sounds. This car sounds so good. We'll get into why it sounds so good in a second. Of course you need an exhaust system though. You can't just have a stock RCF. Let's scrub through it. Hey, shout out to the 2 people in the chat. What's going on? Happy Friday.
Dude, that actually hurt my ears. Oh my god.
So I can't even tell the difference between valves closing open for that one. Anyway, let's get into it. On Warren Cars, back again. What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday. We're going to be going over the RCF. As usual, we're going to do a complete buyer's guide, more than anybody does. This is the longest buyer's guides on YouTube right now. But yeah, today we're going to go over the Lexus RCF, specifically the pre-facelift version. So the pre-facelift is 2019 and earlier, so we're going to be going over 2015 to 2019. So what makes the RCF so actually, hold on, before I get into all that, quick announcements. I can't forget, if you haven't joined my Discord, hop in the Discord, join it quickly. On Monday I will be doing a giveaway, $50. If you're in the Discord, you are eligible to win. All you got to do is join the Discord, like and comment on a video, as well as subscribing to the channel, and then finally sharing a video or a reel with anybody you know or don't know. It doesn't matter. You can share with anybody. I'm doing the drawing on Monday, so if you want a chance to win $50, join the Discord. You have all weekend to do it, but I'm not going to stream on the weekend, obviously, so this is the last time I'm reminding y'all. On Monday, I will do the drawing. Hey, shout out to you, Jacob. Jacob in the chat. What's going on, man? Jacob has been here all week, man. I really appreciate it, bro. Oh yeah, join the Discord. What else? That's pretty much it. Follow me on my Instagram, description in the, or links in the description below. And yeah, let's get into it. A little bit of a late start today, but we do it live. We got regular lives and stuff, You can't always make everything line up time-wise, but we'll always get it done. So let's see what I was doing. Features, options, and problems. So what is the RCF? The RCF is basically Lexus's F version of the RC Coupe, which is basically, I guess you could call it a coupe version of the IS, even though it's not exactly the same. It's not an IS coupe. It's its own design language. It's a little bit bigger than an IS coupe probably would be too. But yes, Lexus Coupe, and it is the sporty version, the F version, obviously. As I mentioned before, 2015 to 2019. Facelift was in 2020. We're going to be covering the pre-facelift because 2020 and up, I don't really do cars of those years because they're so new. I kind of want, the way people feel about the cars, all the problems and stuff. I want them to be out in the open so everyone knows, and that usually happens with time. So I try to stick to 2020 and earlier. The Lexus RCF is powered by the 2UR GSE 5-liter V8 engine. It's naturally aspirated, making 467 horsepower and 389 pound-feet of torque. This is a good amount of power for the engine. Obviously, it's not as much as its competition. This week, we were going over muscle cars. We went over, you know, the ZL1. We went over the GT500, the Hellcat, and then we did the F-Type yesterday, specifically like the F-Type R SVR. This obviously comes in last place. However, this is a Toyota product. So unlike all the other cars we discussed earlier this week, this one will actually last and stand the test of time, as we'll see when we get to the problem section. But going back to the stats, this has an 8-speed ASIN auto transmission made by Toyota. Rear-wheel drive only. It has a double wishbone front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension, similar to like a 3 Series BMW. 3,958 pounds, so it's 4,000 pounds. This isn't a light car. This is a big car. Although it's supposed to be a sporty version of the car, obviously it's a Lexus. I mean, the biggest gripe people have with Lexus performance cars is that they just can't compete, and they really can't compete, but they excel in other ways. What do I think of the ASIN compared to the ZF? ZF will always win. The ASIN is good. The ZF is just, it's so versatile. You can put it in anything. Yeah. The ZF, I think, is the best transmission on the planet right now, or at least the ZF 8-speed. It's just, it's so versatile. You can put it in, I just said that, you can put it in anything, and you can see that it's in everything from Beamers to Hellcats. All of them came standard with Brembo brakes, which was pretty cool. And then for 2017 plus, they added adaptive suspension. In 2018, they upgraded the nav screen to a 10.3-inch screen. But other than that, between 2015 and 2019, things really stayed the same. It's really in the options where the cars get differentiated, because there are a ton, not a ton, but there are like 3 or 4 different options that make or break the car that you have to get. And we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I think that's it actually. So let's bring the options part up. And then I'm so glad, like, doing the research for a Lexus product compared to yesterday doing research for a Jaguar product is night and day. Lexus actually seems so focused, and the way they present their car in the brochures, the way they take care of their customers is just on a different level when compared to Jaguar, which is insane. Even stuff like when we get into the problems, there are like some recalls here and there, but I'm preempting myself. But basically, Lexus really just takes care of all their customers. But before we get into that, options. So these are going to be your packages, and then we're going to go into individual options. So the packages, you have the premium package, which includes dark carbon fiber interior trim, heated and ventilated front seats, Lexus memory system for the front seats, for the driver's seat, outside mirror and steering wheel. So basically, if you're not familiar with that, it just is a memory system that changes, that knows where the steering wheel was at, where the mirrors were at, and where the seat was at, not just the seat, which is pretty cool. Although it is annoying if you get into the car when you have to, and you don't have your right key, or you're using someone else's key, and you have to readjust everything all the time you hop in the car. But obviously, if you're getting in the car often, you could program it yourself. It also comes with premium triple beam headlights. So these are going to be super desirable, like in terms of RCF. If you're getting an RCF, you have to make sure it has a triple beam headlights. That's just a big thing that RCF owners look for. Usually they had the premium package. Almost every RCF came with the premium package, like 95% of them, because obviously if you're getting an RCF, you want it to have all these regular comfort stuff like a memory seat. So most of them just came with that option anyway. And then on top of that, you can get the performance pack. Hey, shout out to Bulldogs in the chat. Bulldog stay putting his arm on my shoulder, bro. What can I do? Yeah. But I'm glad you're here, man. Thank you for supporting. Okay, I was saying the premium, the performance package. So this is the premium package included. And what this comes with is, as I mentioned, the premium package plus a carbon fiber roof, carbon fiber speed activated wing, and torque vectoring differential. So this torque vectoring differential is something that is a big topic in RCF world. The torque vectoring differential, though the technology is good, it does pose some problems. It's been one of the most problematic parts of the car. And we'll get into the problems later, but you really don't want to mess up this torque vectoring differential. Or if you just don't want those problems, just don't get a car with the performance package. A lot of people opt out of the performance package too because of the carbon fiber roof that eliminates a sunroof. I'm not one of those people that really cares about a sunroof, but some people really care about a sunroof and they won't buy a car if it doesn't have it, or they'll think it's cheap. So a lot of people actually did not option the performance package because of the sunroof, but the torque vectoring differential is actually the biggest issue you should be worried about. So if it has the performance package installed, just make sure that the torque vectoring differential works properly, because it's very expensive. You also have the navigation package. So this added a nav system with color display, remote touchpad, voice command. Again, most of these RCFs had the navigation package. Most of them were pretty fully loaded from the factory. So it's actually, you have to really pay attention and make sure you're not getting one that's missing some options. You also have the Mark Levinson audio package. This includes a nav package. So if you get the Mark Levinson audio package, you have to get the nav package as well. It comes with the Mark Levinson premium surround sound, obviously, with 17 speakers, 835 watt amp. So pretty hefty amp. I mean, for a stock system. Machined aluminum control knobs, which is pretty cool, high quality. And then you have the all-weather package, which includes a windshield wiper de-icer, headlamp washers, and heated steering wheel. The all-weather package isn't as necessary as all these other packages. It all depends on where you live. And then finally, the individual options you should look out for. The premium triple beam headlights, those are a big one. As you can see them in this picture a little bit, but I'll show you some more pictures in a second. Leather interior trim. So this is going to be not the seats, but like it's like basically an extended leather. You have it on the dash, on the doors, and everything. Intuitive parking assist. Obviously, that's parking assist. Pre-collision system with dynamic radar cruise control. This is a big option right here because of the dynamic radar cruise control. A lot of people want that cruise control option, and it comes with the pre-collision system. Just make sure if you want this car that it has it. It's hard to really tell because most people aren't going to really mention it. And then power tilt and slide moonroof with sunshade, torque vectoring differential, and orange calipers are available from 2016 on. As you can see, not very many options, not very many packages. They kept it simple, which is really good. It makes it easy for us to find the car that we want. So let's take a look at the brochures and see some of the spec options that they have in terms of colors. If I can find it. Here we go. Cool. So here is the 2015 brochure. As you can see, just looking at this brochure compared to the Jaguar brochure, it's just so much easier to read. Look how nice they listed out the packages. The only thing they could have maybe improved was maybe listing out the individual options instead of putting them in a paragraph. But look at all the specs right here. Nice, easy to read. Colors too. So these are going to be your interior colors. You have black, so it's leather, or new luxe, which I believe is like a fake leather. Stratus gray leather, or citrus circuit red leather. So 3 leather options for 2015. For your trim, you have silver performance and black carbon fiber. So silver performance is just kind of like a lighter looking carbon fiber material, but it's not carbon fiber. But it is a weave of some sort. Then for the exterior colors, you have liquid platinum, which is a gray, nebula gray pearl, which is darker gray, and obsidian. Obviously, it's going to be a black. I guess this would be like a silver, gray, and black. And then you have molten pearl, which is that orange that everyone likes, ultra white, infrared, ultrasonic blue, mica 2.0. So the main colors that you're going to see people want to get for these cars are going to be this molten pearl, infrared, and ultrasonic blue mica. And a really good color combination would be red seats and blue paint, or red seats and red paint. Red seats and oranges. Red seats with any cool colors is always going to be like a rarer, more unique spec that could potentially fetch a higher price. So as I always say, try to look for a unique spec, but don't look for anything that's like super crazy. Like red and orange might be a little bit too much. The blue and red is kind of like on the limit. So you just want to make sure that if you find a car with like a super weird interior, then that the fact that it's super weird might not add to the resale like you think. It has to be unique, but also desirable at the same time. Cool. So let's look at the 2016, see if anything changed in terms of colors. Nope. They just changed the way they organized it. You can see the same leathers, same interior trim, same colors. And then 2017, same thing as well. Actually, before we do that, one more thing. There are 3 wheel options that you can get. They're going to be the split 7-spoke, the split 10-spoke, and the hand polished 20-spoke. I think my favorite are going to be the hand polished 20-spoke. But I could also go for the split 10-spoke as well. The standard wheels, these split 7-spokes, I don't really like. I think they don't look as good as these two. So I would recommend trying to find one with those upgraded wheels. But it's all up to you. If you like these wheels, you know, they all look all right to me. But these two, the optional ones, look a little bit better. And then let's look at 2018. Pretty much same thing. They added a yellow though, right? No. Yeah, they added the yellow. Oh, gosh. They added the flare yellow and took out the orange. A lot of people like the flare yellow as well. So that's also a color you should look out for. Pretty rare though. I couldn't really find a clean title with no accident yellow car to show you guys, but just know that the yellow cars exist and people really like them. Yeah, as you can see, these are all standard stuff. You have the Torsen limited slip differential. I forgot to mention that that is standard as well. Torsen limited slip differential is standard, or you could get the torque vectoring differential as an upgrade. So you're really not missing out if you don't get the torque vectoring differential, because it already comes with the LSD. So keep that in mind. But an easy way to, you said white is not that bad. Yeah, white is good actually. I like the RCF in white, especially if it has a red interior. It's a really good spec. Yeah, other than that, it's like not really that many options to look for. You have some of these accessories you can get, but these people don't really get these or really like talk about getting them because they don't really add that much value to the car. But yeah, that pretty much goes over that. Let's look at 2019 and see if anything changed. Nope, nothing really changed. You can see yep, same amount of power. Pretty much everything stays the same. So it's easy for us today because it's really easy to shop for a car where there's not too many variants. It's crazy how Jaguar really like messed up. Like it makes people not want to shop for the car when you have to learn a whole bunch of different trims that don't make any sense and that aren't intuitive. Cool. So those are the that's the brochures for the car. Let's get on to the problems, which I'm just going to say there are very few problems with this car. This car is one of the most reliable high performance cars on the market right now. And it's so insane because people don't give it enough credit for what it's really good at. And that is just lasting. Everyone who has these cars literally says they're problem free. The only thing they spend money on are wear and tear items like brakes and tires, oil changes. Everything else really has been covered under everything else has been covered under recall. So there were a couple recalls that were big. I'm sure there were way more. Is that the... Hey, shout out to you, Tom G. I haven't seen you before, man. Welcome. So I don't know what I'm selling. I don't... Is that the you selling? I don't know. TBD problems. So this is the biggest issue with the car, the most expensive issue, the most scary issue for potential and owners of the RCF is a TBD. If an entire replacement torque vectoring differential retails at $25,000. I'm sure you can get it like cheaper than that a little bit, but when you're starting at 25, what's that much cheaper? 20 for a part? That's insane. You can get a car. You could literally get a clapped ISF for that price, or even a clapped RCF for that price for just your differential. So that's a big thing about the Torsen, the torque vectoring differential is that yes, it is good for performance. However, is the little marginal increase in performance worth the headache if that breaks? Some people say yes, some people say no. That's up to you. I personally, I would just get it because I just would make sure that it's good before I buy it, and then I'd have a really specced out car. However, if you're not the type of person who even really cares for that kind of stuff, it's not necessary. You don't have to get the performance package. So if you don't get the performance package, you don't get the TBD, but you'll get a sunroof and everything, so it'll be all right. High and low pressure fuel pumps were affected under recall. Just something I want to mention. Believe the high pressure fuel pump, you hear like a chirping noise underneath the engine bay, like a rattling chirping sound, and then from the rear you hear a humming noise. Those are going to be your fuel pumps, high and low pressure. You really don't want them to be making excess noise. If they are, just take it to the dealership. That they were covered under recall, so get those taken care of. Also, door locks, very common thing to go wrong on Lexuses is the door lock actuators. The door motors themselves that control the power locks, they go out, and so you have to replace that. If you replace the whole actuator, it's very expensive. You replace the motor, it's a lot cheaper, but you have to take apart the actuator, which some people aren't comfortable doing. It reminds me of the clutch duo select in the QP, either you want it or not. How much horsepower? This car has 467 horsepower and 389 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, I mean the torque vectoring differential is a little bit different than the Duo Select because it's not like a transmission. It's just like a different type of differential that makes it exit a little bit faster on turns. Yeah, but it's a pretty potent engine. Hey, shout out to Clean Whips in the building. Clean Whips been here since day one. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, 467 389 is not bad at all. It's a very potent engine, 5-liter V8. I don't see why people don't like these cars. You can really, like, you have to compare it to what it is. It's a naturally aspirated V8. You're not going to compare it to any type of boosted motor. Like, obviously, it can't even hold any light to like a B58 or something. I mean, in stock form, it might have a leg up on the B58, but the B58, once you increase the PSI a little bit, you'll be easily walking this, especially with the, I don't know, BMW just put down their power a lot better, and they just are deceptively fast. So you're not really getting this for the performance per se, but the performance is like a super nice bonus. I think how you should describe this is like you're getting like a luxury, reliable car that's also performance-y, right? Instead of getting a performance car that's luxury. That's kind of what BMW does. They make their performance cars luxuries, and Mercedes, they make their luxury cars performance. This is kind of going in the Mercedes direction, making the luxury cars performance, except they add the Japanese reliability, which literally like sells the car. Well, it should on paper. In reality, it didn't sell the car. In 2015 and 2016, these cars didn't sell at all. And there were huge discounts, $10,000, $15,000, $17,000 discounts on brand new RCFs in 2015, which is insane because brand new, they were like 70 grand, 75 grand. So people were picking them up in the 50s, right? If you look at the prices now, they are still in the 50s. 2015 was 9 years ago. These cars are clapped out 100,000 miles. Okay, not 100,000 miles, but they're going to have like 30 or 40,000 miles, not clapped out, but 30, 40, 50,000 miles. They're asking the same or like a little bit less than what they cost 9 years ago new. Like these cars hold their value so well. It's like if you get one of these, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose the least amount of money possible on a performance car. However, that's at the expense of not being the fastest car or, you know, the best looking, you know. Does it do good in the snow? I highly doubt it does good in the snow. I don't think this is the car you should take out if you want to drive in the snow. It's rear-wheel drive. It is high performance. Yeah, these are a better deal than the GSF. The GSFs are crazy right now. Some of these actually are still pretty crazy, but the GSFs are like 50, 60 plus all day. Yeah. Yeah, these cars, they probably also come with like summer tires too. These are very these are like the highest performing car that Lexus makes. Well, I wouldn't say that. Highest performing car or version of the RCF. So I don't think this would be a good car for the snow. Would you say, Jacob? Just look it up in a European secondhand market. The cheapest one is 50K in Spain. Yeah, these are insane. I'm telling you, like the RCF. This is the formula for a car that's going to hold its value. It has to be reliable, and it has to be hated before. Well, I mean, the reliability is that kind of adds to the value in the very long term. But for a car to like pick up steam, like this car, or how do I say this? For a car to not depreciate like the normal car market, there has to be scarcity, right? Because these cars didn't sell very well in 2015, 2016. And then 2017 on, they literally like turned down the production volume. So these cars aren't as prevalent as they planned them to be. They thought that people would actually take this car like more seriously than they did, and more people would buy it. However, that wasn't the case. But now, because of that, you see that they don't even lose any value. And so it's pretty insane, like how these are still very expensive. Although we'll look at some cheap examples. I found a couple, but they have a ton of miles. But luckily, these are Toyota, Lexus products, and a ton of miles doesn't really equal to the wear and tear that you'll probably see on, for example, like a Jaguar. On a 50,000 mile Jaguar, the seat's going to be all messed up. On a 150,000 mile Lexus, it looks like it has 20,000 miles. Yep. And then finally, squeaky brakes. A lot of people complain about the brakes in this car. It's high performance braking system. It's Brembos. They're slotted. You're going to have some sort of squeaks. In order to remedy this, you can change the pads to a less squeaky pad, but never expect to have a completely squeal-free driving experience. They're just high-performance brakes. Clean Whips asks, question, this or the S550 Mustang? That is a good question, because I'd say that the S550 Mustang is a better value in terms of what you're going to get for the amount of money that you have to put down. However, in the long term, I do believe this will be better because you'll be more reliable. You have a way better interior space to sit in. There's going to be a way better, more luxurious experience to drive. Plus, it's just going to be a lot cooler on the road. These have so much more road presence than an S550 GT Mustang. So yeah, if you want something reliable and different, get this. If you want something a little bit cheaper, probably easier to maintain, I'd say the Mustang. Actually, hold on, that's a weird. It's probably easier to maintain because it's a Mustang, but you're gonna have to maintain it more than this. This one is probably going to be harder to maintain if the problems come up, but the problems probably won't come up as often as a Mustang. So you'll probably be on the winning side if you get one of these over a Mustang. How much is the car worth? This one? Oh, well, okay. So the RCF brand new was around 75 grand in 2015. On the market now, you can find them from the low 30s ish to like 60 grand. So 30 to 60 is the range of where they sit. And brand new, they were 75. And then so most of the ones that you're going to see are going to be a little bit more expensive. Most of the ones that people want to buy because they're more lower miles. These are performance cars, so people don't want to get like a high mile one. They want a nice one. So the nice ones are going to go for a lot more than the high mile ones, simply because they are the top of the line, top spec RCF. As always with every car, like every model line follows that same trend. Cool. All right. So now that we know what we're looking for, let's move on to the ad section of the show, where we look at ads on Facebook, Auto Trader, and Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, 60K is the highest quality one. Yep. We'll look at a few. Like you're asking me about price, we'll get there. It's okay. I guess it's your first time here, but I got you with the prices. Let's say that's what we're about here, is the prices. So first example here is a 2015 RCF Coupe. You can see that the price is insane. $16,995, $17,000, but also the mileage is insane. 193,000 miles. So this kind of just speaks to the RCF. Wait a minute. Hold up. This is not an RCF. Oh man, hey, sorry about that. But yeah, I was fooled. I was fooled by the ad. I didn't even look through the pictures. I just saw high mile, low price. I was like, this needs to be on here. But yeah, we are going to give me a slap, and then we'll get one of these too. Okay, this is a real RCF. This one, an actual RCF, I think. Hold up. No, it's not. Hold up. They really got me. I've been lied to. So okay, this is the first RCF we're looking at. Holy crap. I messed that up. Maybe I shouldn't rush this stuff. I really got to pay attention. Anyway, first RCF we looked at. We just eliminated all those cheap models. Now we're only in the expensive ones. And I guess RCFs are just expensive. I thought that the other ones were cheap. Anyway. So first example we're looking at, we have a 2015 RCF with 31,900 miles. They're asking 44.5, right? Or 44.9. They're asking 44.9 for this car, which is pretty decent in terms of price range, and the mileage, it's not too far off. Let's look at the interior, see what we're working with. The red interior is going to be super desirable for these cars. As I mentioned, it came with the black, gray, and red for the 2015. So it's gonna look like this. The seat design is so nice on these cars. You can't really see it here, but it is one of the best looking seats out there. Lexus just does so well with their interior designs with their new cars. The old ones, obviously, you know, they're kind of old school like Lexus, but the new ones, like, look at the stitching pattern. Looks like organic. Everything is flowy. The colors, the color contrast with the black and the red just looks so good. You have the light carbon trim on the inside as well. Let's see if they show. So as you can see right here would be where the car would have the TBD button, but it would be split. It's hard to see, but you see this top button and then this other button right behind this can. The top button would be split if it had TBD. And so this only has the traction control. And you can also see that it has a sunroof. So this does not have the performance package. It just has the regular premium. Actually, what was it called? Let me get this packages up here real quick. It has a regular premium package. So yeah, this car, it does not have the performance package. However, it does have the premium package. Let's see if it has anything in the description. Is that Lexus manual? Nope. These Lexuses don't come in manual. I don't think the last Lexus sports coupe to come in a manual was the SC. Maybe? Did the IS coupe come in a manual? I have no idea, but yeah, the RCF does not come in a manual. Lexus does not do manual anymore. Yeah, they want their cars to be very convenient and be applicable to the most amount of people while also being as reliable as possible. So that's why this is also a reason why Lexus keeps their model range very narrow in terms of their options, is because that just adds to the reliability. If you have all these options like your Jaguar and you gotta like keep track of all these different pieces and parts that you have to supply and keep track of, and different things can break in different combinations and stuff, it gets really confusing. Lexus, they like to simplify their product line, which I agree, this is a better way to do business. Also, let's see what he says. Clean title in hand, only 32,000 miles, dealership service always on time, no accident at all, condition 9 out of 10, blah blah blah. Premium package is Mark Levinson sound. OEM BBS 19-inch premium wheels with 4 brand new Bridgestone tires, Borla catback exhaust without any residence inside the cabin. Okay, that's good. I mean, lots of good stuff here. It doesn't really tell you anything that happened with the car in terms of its maintenance history. I mean, it says it was owned at the dealership, but again, this is a low mile RCF. It's a Lexus product. It's not gonna have that many problems. He's asking $44,900 for this car. You know, these cars, as I mentioned, they hold their value like crazy. I think what I pay for this, being a 31,900 mile car in silver on red, the red seats are pretty desirable. I'd be willing to go up to $42,500 for this example right here. Then moving on, we have another silver car. This is going to be a 2017 RCF. They're asking $48,900 for this car. Yeah, I'm telling you, these cars are getting expensive. I mean, they only go up. These cars are insane, but they look really good. Like this one also has the orange caliper option. You also notice, I mean, I should have mentioned this earlier, but differences between the RCF and the RC regular edition, the RC, the 350, or the, you know, the regular coupe, the regular RC, goddamn. Anyway, is that this one has like a body kit. You can see it has a big fender hole right here to vent out hot air from the wheel, or not hot air, but maybe pressurized air, or it could be just fake. I don't even know, to be honest. But it also has these quad tips, these signature F tips, which are staggered in this interesting way, only seen on Lexuses. No other car does the exhaust like this. I just love the Lexus quad tips. They look so good. Interior, we can see it has the black carbon fiber along with the Alcantara on the door armrest, which is pretty cool. As you can see, red interior. This is the exact same spec as the last one, just a newer year. Very nice spec. Red is always going to be super desirable on these because these are literally it's the nicest interior option you have. It's either silver, black, or red, or like gray, black, or red. You can see, let's look at the center console. Does it have so it doesn't have the safety stuff. Again, all the safety features became standard on the RCF in 2018 model year. So we do have some stuff, but not all the features are optional on this car. Does it show this? Yep. We see this one does have the performance pack too. You see the TBD button here, the traction control, and then the snow button. So if it didn't have TBD, this top 2 button thing would be 1 button. It would be like a 1 button combo. This one has TBD, so that adds value to it. It has the carbon fiber roof. It has, as you can see, it doesn't have a sunroof, has the performance pack, has the brake upgrade as well, and it only has 22,000 miles. This is a lot of money. Clean Whip said it best. He said 50 grand is too much for these, in my opinion. I have to agree with you, because 50 grand is a ton of money. This is not like, I'm not the type of buyer that would buy a 20,000 mile car for a high price. Like, I just prefer to get a better deal, you know. Like, I don't need to get a new car. I'm not that type of person. Some people are. Some people like really want a new car because of they don't want to deal with the problems, but I don't want to pay that much, especially if I don't have to. 50 grand. This car is low miles. It's pretty much fully loaded. It doesn't have the safety features, but it has the performance pack. Does it say anything? Okay, he talks about this, the MPGs. It's rear-wheel drive, fantastic shape, but nothing there really. Hey Tom, are you like, is this your first time like looking at car content? I'm not trying to like make fun of you or anything. I'm just curious because you're asking a bunch of questions. I like that, but a bunch of these questions, you know, I've never heard people ask these questions before. But this car does okay on gas for a V8. Lexuses actually do okay on gas on V8s, which is pretty interesting. My Lexus LS430 has a 4.3 liter V8, and I average around 24-25 miles per gallon. I don't drive too crazy, but I also don't like, I'm not a hyper miler. I'm not gonna like sit behind a semi or drive 45 on the interstate, but I still get 25 miles per gallon with a V8 from 20 years ago, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'd say Lexus V8s aren't the most fuel efficient, aren't the most thirsty. They're pretty fuel efficient. 16 city and 25 highway is like literally a boosted 4-cylinder. Now, like if you have a high performing boosted 4-cylinder, like 300 plus horsepower, that's the type of MPGs you're going to make anyway. So I don't know why you would want to get one of those instead of just having a big old V8. A lot smoother, sounds a lot better. But yeah, for this one being a 2017 with 22,000 miles and being just in really good condition with almost every option except the safety stuff, but it has a performance pack, which is a big plus, I'd be willing to go up to $46,000 for this car. I think 46 would really be the max I'd pay for an RCF. I wouldn't really want to pay any more than that because at that point, 46, you're moving into like really like good M3 territory. So Is it really worth it? I don't know. And then here we have our final example, a 2019, the final year of the pre-facelift car. We can see it also has some, you know, cosmetic upgrades as well. You have a splitter down here as well as some side skirts. We can see that it is in this, like kind of this flat black or flat gray color, kind of like a, not a flat, it's more like a satin gray. You can see the triple beam headlights. These are big options. I believe the rest of these had triple beams. Yeah, triple beams. It's a big option, but most people had it option because it came with the premium package. So most cars have it. So if it doesn't have the premium package, I just would recommend staying away from it in general. But yeah, we can see this one's real clean. Let's look at the inside. We can see it has the blue interior for 2019, which I didn't even know that they made, to be honest. So what we have here is a 2019 10th anniversary edition, 19,000 miles. Let's see. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious because I haven't seen the blue interior, and this is 2019. This is the 2019. They didn't even mention a blue interior. Hold on, because they have a blue interior. No, that's a blue exterior. 2019. I'm sorry, I'm taking a quick break right here. Check this out. 2019 10th year anniversary blue RCF. Like, I'm typing this all out of order. Super dyslexic. Okay, no pictures. That's great. Oh, yep. He's not lying. This is a special edition, the 10th anniversary edition. The RCF has the front sport seats get blue leather with accents with the blue accented shifting knob, steering wheel, and instrument panel hood. Pretty cool. I didn't even know this existed. But here we have a special edition 10-year anniversary edition RCF with the blue interior with low miles, super rare. On the BBS wheels. These wheels from the factory are BBS, which is amazing. That's super cool that Lexus decided to do that. But yeah, very rare example of the car. If you're trying to get something very nice and exclusive, I recommend getting something like this. However, this price is insane. $60,000. That's pretty much what this car costs new. Obviously, it was a little bit more new, probably closer to like 80 because this is a special edition. But $60,000 with 19,000 miles, you know. Is it tuned? No, this car is completely stock. I'm guessing because it is. Okay, well, let's see. These are the mods. So actually, good call, Tom, because I didn't actually finish reading the description. So the mods on this car, it has lowering springs, wheel spacers, chrome trim delete around the doors, and all rear chrome badges replaced with black badges. It has tinted taillights, tinted reflectors, chrome exhaust tips, plasti dip black aerodynamics or aeroflow dynamics body kit, Uniden hardwire radar detector, truss tinted windows with front strip custom car cover. Okay, so it's not tuned at all. It just has some cosmetic upgrades. This car being a 2019 last model year pre-facelift with only 19,000 miles, I'd say because it is a special edition, I go up to 55 grand. But I really wouldn't buy one of these. But if you were to buy one, I'd say try to get the best deal possible. 55 grand. It's been listed for 2 weeks, so I'm not sure if it's if people are looking for this, but 55 would be where I'd be at for a special edition. Yeah, it has a 10-inch screen as well. You're right. The 2018 got the 10-inch screen. So this is 2017, and yep, you can see the little screen and then the big screen. So yeah, exactly correct. So yeah, I recommend. We'll get to that at the end, but I was just gonna say I recommend getting a later model year simply because the screen is a lot better. But let's move on to Auto Trader, the second place we look at ads. Our first example here, hopefully we don't run into any pretending fake. These cars are really pretending to be F cars. I don't know why people do that. It's like, are you like, I can't tell if you're dumb or like this is your marketing strategy to get people to look at the car, like clickbait. I mean, it works, I guess. It got me to look at it, but now I don't want anything to do with you. Yeah. Anyway, starting off, let's look at this example. It's a 2015 RCF with 88,000 miles. They're asking 34.5. So a cheaper example. This would be something that, you know, if you are on a budget, you should probably look at because it is a Lexus. The mileage isn't, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it isn't as important with cars like this when compared to like a German car, like an M3 or something. An 88,000 mile M3 is definitely something you gotta, you know, think about like, oh, I gotta fix stuff soon. But on this one, I think you'll be all right. This one is a silver car, or like a dark gray car. See, it has a triple beam headlights. That's good. Has those BBS wheels. These are going to be those 20 spokes, my favorite wheels that come with the RCF. Interior, we can see it is the black leather interior. Nothing too fancy here. Yeah, this one's not too bad at all. This is what I would look at. This is what I would recommend. There's a car like this. This color spec isn't the best, you know, it's pretty basic, but the price is really good when compared to, you know, what you'd be paying for a lower mile, more fancy example. What you want to make sure is that you want to see what the interior, or you want to see basically if it has performance pack or not. So it does not look like it has a performance pack. We can see there's only 2 buttons here, so no performance pack, meaning it has a sunroof. We can also see right here it has the Mark Levinson system. So we do have the nav as well as the well, we have the nav system and the premium package. No performance package though, which isn't bad. This is a 2015, like one of the cheapest examples, so you can't expect it to be fully loaded. Engine looks nice. I love the way they present the engine in the F cars with these. You can see the intake runners going across. That looks so cool, especially in the F blue. Really good engine bay. I mean, really good looking engine bay. Clean too, especially for having 90,000 miles. Yeah, it has a back seat. It has a pretty good back seat too. I can actually, I'm 6'4", I can fit in the back seat. Granted, not comfortably, but I can actually fit back there. For reference, in my M6, I can't fit in the back seat at all. If I sit in the back seat, I have to put my legs like diagonal. But in this RCF, I can actually sit in the back seat. So yeah, it has a decent sized back seat. It's not the most impractical car in the world. But yeah, this is the back seat right here. So you can see it's pretty well amenitied. You have your own storage compartment as well as speakers, and I believe there are some cup holders back there as well. I guess in here or maybe in the fold down part. But yeah, it's not a bad car. Hey Tom, have you joined the Discord? If you haven't already, join the Discord. If you join by Monday, you have the chance to win $50. This goes for anyone. Hey, shout out to the 5 people that are watching right now. Nice to have y'all on a Friday. Y'all could be doing anything on this Friday. It could be a happy hour or something, but you're here with me. I rock with y'all. Really appreciate it. Any of you haven't joined the Discord, hit the link in the description. Join the Discord. I'm going to be doing a drawing on Monday for $50. I already did it once. Shout out to Claro. He won it before. Yeah. So going back to this clean example, it's on the nice wheels I like. It's gray on black, not the most fancy spec, but it does look nice. It's a clean spec. It's very it's like a very business spec, very corporate spec, I'd say. So for this 88,000 miles, they're asking 34.5. You know, I try to get this for 33 flat. If I can get it for 33 flat, that would be a good deal. Moving on to our next example, we have a 2016. This one is going to be in blue with the red interior, as you can already see. Okay, cool. Hey, shout out to you, Tom. So here we have a blue example. Let me just restart. So here we have a 2016 RCF in blue. You can also see the red seats here as well. Let's take a look. You can see it has the orange caliper option. You can see those quad tips on the RCF. One of my favorite parts. You can see you have the wheels. Interior is going to be the red leather interior. One of the most desirable ways a spec in RCF is like this with the red leather. Everyone loves these seats. Yeah, I was mentioning earlier, but yeah, you can really see the pattern on the seat right now. It just looks so good. They're really comfortable too. This one has a sunroof, as you can see, so no performance package. Yeah, I mean, other than that, they don't show the engine bay, but if you didn't already know, this has the 5-liter naturally aspirated V8, the 2GR FSE or 2UR FSE or GSE. Man, let me stop guessing. What is it? 2UR GSE. Yep. So not too many pictures for this example, but as you can see, very clean. How many miles? 46,000 miles. So not too many miles. In fact, you know, it's pretty low for one of these, or where you could actually go. You said you'd rather have the black interior. Yeah, I mean, that's all. It's all preference. I like the red interior because it's a little bit more special. Black interiors are cool if if the car is not equipped with black interiors usually. Like, for example, my LS 430 is a black on black LS 430. The regular, like most LS 430s, they come in with the beige interior, and I have a black interior, and I think that's cool. That's like the top. I mean, obviously the top is probably going to be that brown color, but it's pretty rare. But the black is highly desirable. I think the red is desirable simply because it's rare, and also it makes it more sporty. This car is kind of lacking on the sportiness. That's kind of its biggest downfall, is is it's not as sporty as its competition. And in a way, I'm saying not really, it's not like it adds like 10 horsepower, but red seats just make it a little bit more sporty, a little bit more of the part of what it's supposed to be. Oh, here we can see actually this car is one of the few cars, it doesn't even have the premium package. So it has a really nice spec, but no premium package. Look at the lights. This is going to be the double beam light. These are the lights you do not want. So I'd actually recommend not buying this car. It doesn't even have the premium package. It's a completely base RCF, but with a cool color combo. This is something that will fool a lot of people, which is kind of crazy. So I'm glad we got to point it out, but this is something that will fool a lot of potential buyers just simply because of the interior. And if you're like playing 40 chess, like maybe you should buy a car like this and get it for a really good deal and then try to do the same thing. But, you know, depends on what kind of person you are, you know, like if you're going to try to do that, I personally wouldn't, but obviously everyone has their hustle, but I don't know if scamming people on specs of cars is the best one. But so yeah, base car. This is actually not really something you should look at if you're trying to get the most value or the most value out of your car. This one is base, 46,000 miles, and they're asking $43,000. That is really a lot for one of these, especially not even having the triple beam lights, meaning no premium package, meaning you don't even have the memory seats or stuff like that. Summer tires. I don't know what tires these come stock on. I'm sure they tell you actually. Do they show? Wow, I cannot read that. Holy crap. All right, let's get this big. All right. Yeah, so they come with performance tires. So summer tires, I guess you could call them summer tires, but they come with performance tires. And as you can see, 19-inch performance tires are expected to experience greater tire wear than a conventional tire. So if your concern is tires, I don't know if you should get a sports car because tires are a wear and tear item. So you're going to be going through a lot of those with cars that are more sporty. So going back to this one, base model but looks cool, fooling a lot of people but not us because we know the details. We we know what we're looking at. We're not the average guy looking at these cars on the lot. No premium package, super base, but it is in a cool color with the orange calipers as well. I'd be more around the $34,000 mark. I don't even think you should buy this car. Avoid this one. But if they were to make me buy it and they were saying you have to buy it, I'd say 34 grand. I just you don't want to get a non-premium package car. As I mentioned before, like 95% of them came with the premium package. And so not having one is, you're really defeating the purpose of getting this car if you're going to get a super base version. It is a luxury car after all. If you want to get, as Clean Whip said, if you want to get a car that's not luxury, get a Mustang. Like that'll be way cheaper and you'll have the same amount of power. Here we have our next example. This is going to be a 2017 in white. We can see it has the F carbon shields on the side. I guess they're called shields. I don't really know what to call them, but the other car had them as well. This part right here, we can also see that it's on my favorite wheels. These ones, what are they called? I need to actually get. So they are the hand polished 20 spokes. The split 10 spokes are my favorite, my second favorite, but the hand polished 20 spokes are my favorite. Yeah, 34 for 2016 is crazy. I know, and I lowballed the crap out of him. They asked 43. It's insane. Yeah, I'm telling you, these cars, the prices are insane, but they hold their value, I guess. You know, it's not a bad investment. Plus, I think these cars get a really bad rep for not being as sporty as their competition. However, it's like, I said this before, most people aren't driving on a track. Like, you don't take a track to work every day. You don't drive on a track every day. You don't drive on a track every month. You drive on a track occasionally. Like, as I mentioned, I've only been on a track once. I don't think, like, to be honest, I didn't really want to go back to the track because, like, going on a track just literally fries your car, like fries your brakes, it wears your tires, it puts extra stress on the car. And if we're going to be honest, most of my cars are going to be higher mile cars, so I don't want to put excess stress on the car. I'd rather just rent a car to race or something like that. But yeah, these cars are just gonna, they're performance enough for the average, not even average, for like the 80% of majority of people. This car will be good enough, if not exceeding your expectations in terms of the performance. Most people who buy cars don't Yeah, I mean, most people don't buy sports cars in general, and so that's just a fact. So I don't know where I was going with that point, but we'll continue talking about this example. It is in white. You can see it has the orange calipers. Let's look at the interior, see what spec we're working with. Black interior, so we have a white on black. It has the carbon trim, not the silver one, but the dark carbon trim. We can also see it has color contrast blue stitching in the doors, which is pretty cool. Scrolling down, we can also see, looking at the instrument panel down here, it does not have the performance package. It is just simply premium package car. And it should say Mark Levinson if it has the Mark Levinson, which I don't even see. Yep, it does not even have Mark Levinson either. Yeah, this white one looks cool. I think it's because it's lowered that it has a little bit of a better stance. It looks kind of cool, but the LFA, the RC, the LC 500 looks like the LFA more than this. That car, it's like this plus some, you know, it's super reliable, super expensive, but even more. I mean, maybe the reliability is the same. It's same engine, just bigger car. But yeah, for this one, they're asking $49,000. These prices are insane. And look, great price. 33,000 miles this car has. So it doesn't have too many miles, but $49,000 is insane. Like, these cars they hold their value like crazy, as I keep mentioning. But for this one, I can't, I can never pay what they ask. So for this one, it's 33,000. It's not the best spec. It doesn't have the sport pack or the performance pack. It doesn't have the performance pack. I guess I'd be around 45 for this. Maybe closer to have the performance pack. yeah. I'm telling you, the pandemic really messed up car prices. And it was funny is that I get a lot of crap for like lowballing people, but I'm not lowballing people. I'm doing the market a favor. I am here to save the market and correct it to what it should be, what it was back 2 years ago, where it's going to go back in the next year or so. As you can see, because cars aren't selling. As I mentioned before, dealerships, they aren't selling their cars and they refuse to lower the price, because if they lower the price, then they accept their loss. If they keep it on the lot, yeah, they're still, obviously, it's costing them money to keep it there, but they haven't accepted that loss. And a lot of dealerships don't want to take that loss on paper, so they'd rather just keep the car and just try to keep listing, and just someone will buy, but we're coming to that time where no one's buying it. So it was weird, because it's the complete opposite of where we were 2 years ago, where everyone wanted cars, but there were no cars. So what happened was basically the market overcorrected, and it's going to go back to where it was. At least I don't think it's going to go down to maybe the pre-pandemic levels, but maybe like 5% more. Right now we're like at 40% more, but it's going to come back down to where it was. Like, I remember when we could buy E90 M3s for 13 grand. Now, I mean, the E90 M3 obviously is a special case all on its own, but I'm telling you, these cars used to be cheap. Like, I had a 335. My 335 I bought for 7 grand. It was an E90 manual. It was great. Now, like, if you want a 340, like the equivalent 335, it's 15 grand plus. It's crazy. Yeah. Shit. Where was I at? Yeah, for this one, I said 45 grand, just because it didn't have the premium package. Moving on to our next example. Hey, shout out to the 6 people in here, man. If you haven't said anything, say what's up. And if you haven't already joined my Discord, and you haven't already subscribed, and if you haven't already liked the video, let's get to 20 likes for today. And moving on to our second to last ad on Auto Trader, we have a 2019 last model year of the pre-facelift RCF in silver with the orange calipers. Scrolling down, let's see what the interior looks like. First, you can see it has a triple beam headlights. That's good. It means it at least has a triple beam headlight option, which usually 90% of the time means it has a premium package, although very rarely will someone option the triple beams without having premium, but it does happen. You see the engine bay, again, looks very clean. They all look very clean. You know why? Because no one has to work on it. They just stay like this for the entire lives because no one touches them, and they look amazing. So let's see what the interior looks like. Red interior, my favorite interior. As we can see, this one also has the performance package. You can see the TVD button right here for the torque vectoring differential. So exit out of this. Scrolling down, very clean example. It does have the performance package, so not only does it have the TVD, it also has the carbon fiber roof, which is really cool for people that want that. Not all the safety features, but not too bad. This is, a really expensive car. This is a 2019 as well, so you get the big screen, the 10.3-inch screen, which looks really nice compared to the 2017 and below cars. We can see this one also has the Mark Levinson system, as it says. So this one is pretty much fully loaded. TVD, Mark Levinson, TVD and Mark Levinson, those two options mean it has pretty much every option, because TVD means it's performance pack, which means premium pack is included, and Mark Levinson means that the nav is included. So those two things right there, just looking in this little area, you can see TVD, Mark Levinson, you already know that your car is pretty well equipped. The only thing, actually 2019, so all the safety stuff was equipped standard as well. I'm not sure what was missing right here. On this side, someone would have to educate me on what these two buttons are. What is the touchpad in the car? So basically this is Lexus's way of controlling the screen, and this is actually one of the biggest things people have problems with the Lexus infotainment system. If I would have to say, if I would have to rank infotainment systems, Lexus is like, so you have like all the rest, like BMW, Mercedes, Audi, like Ford, like Dodge, and you know, you're getting kind of like bad down here. Lexus is down here. Lexus literally has the worst infotainment system up until like 2022 when they released a touchscreen. But before, you had to use this little trackpad like a laptop. And then some cars even had this little like knob that you could, it's like a swiveling knob that worked. Yeah, it was like a mouse, exactly. This one is like a, well, okay. What you said was the mouse, yeah, exactly. This is like a trackpad, and there was also the mouse, like an actual like physical movable thing that felt resistance when you moved it around the screen. My mom actually has a 2016 RX 350, and it has that system. Horrible system. Also, the nav in Lexus is horrible. Like, I know I'm saying get the nav, but I'm just saying that to have a fully equipped car. But the nav system you'll never use. It is the worst nav system ever. Like, my mom uses it sometimes. I remember riding with her sometimes, and she uses it, and it takes us like through the most traffic. It takes us on the weirdest roads. Like, it's just old and outdated. I don't know if it needs an update or something, but the Lexus nav is just not it. I would just recommend getting it simply because it'll have the most options and it will sell better, but you really won't ever use it in practice. Yeah, keep your phone. I'm a big fan. Like, I don't even think cars should have infotainment systems. I would just have a mirror for my phone, because that's all I do anyway. I only use CarPlay. I never use a stock nav. I never use a stock radio. I just use CarPlay. The only thing I use on the car stock is to change the sound settings. That's about it. So yeah, I think sidetrack real quick. I believe that a lot of car companies are going to start having problems with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay because it's deterring customers from buying their infotainment systems, which they spend so much time and resources developing. So I think what you'll see in the future, a shout out to Lucky Lopez, because he actually said this, but you'll see like they're going to go back to subscription models for stuff like this. So if you want to get a car that can run CarPlay, you'll have to pay a subscription, because you're skipping out of the nav option, but in order to have the option to run CarPlay, they're going to make you buy some sort of other thing to make up for the fact that you didn't get nav. I don't know how well that's going to play out, but all I know is that car companies are kind of getting hip to the fact that people aren't really paying attention to their nav systems, and the demographic of people that use stock navs, they don't even, yeah, exactly, like BMW, but the people who use stock navs are getting, just dwindling. That basically that population of people is getting smaller and smaller. This one they're asking 54 and it's fully loaded. See, this is really a better deal than what we were looking at before. It is a great price, $5,000 below the average, so they aren't lying. It is a great price in comparison. However, I really wouldn't want to pay above 50. I mean, to be fair, it is fully loaded. We haven't really seen one that has been fully loaded like this, and being a last model year, I'd be willing to go up to $51,000 for this car. I'd be willing to go up to $51,000 for this car. All right, cool. He said 40. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm telling you, like, it's a 2019 with 12,000 miles. It's like hard to justify paying a little bit less than I mean, it's hard to justify paying that much less than what it costs new, simply because it is like a brand new car. So I'll give it that. 12,000 is really low. Yeah, I'd be willing to go up to 51 simply because I know that this car will hold its value. Like, you could probably sell it at 20 grand miles, 8,000 miles on this car, probably put that in 1 or 2 years, sell it for 50 grand in 2 years. So moving on to our last example, we have a 2018 in blue. It's going to have the side shields on it as well. $55,000 are asking for it. It has 19,000 miles. Let's see why this car is so expensive compared to the last example we looked at. Rare, kind, Rare kinds. Performance package RCF. Okay. Garage kept. Clean title. No scratches. Perfect. Carbon fiber roof and spoiler. Okay. So, yeah. So this one is a little bit overpriced. As we can see, it has more miles and it's not a 2019 like the last one we looked at. However, it does have a cool outside color. Let's see what the interior spec looks like. See if it has any unique color what's going on. Nope. Just a black interior. I mean, the black interior looks good. Yeah. No, I mean, you're right, Clean Whips. These prices are insane. It only had 12,000 miles. That's why I gave it a low price. If it had like 30,000 miles, you know, I'd have been down like 10 grand. For this one, $55,000. See what else we see. Yeah. Carbon fiber interior trim. We can see this one does have the performance package. As he mentioned, carbon fiber roof as well. Does it say Mark Levinson? Yep. So we do have the premium package, which is assumed. Engine bay, you can see that 5-liter V8 looking pretty clean. Again, engine bays are always clean on these cars. Orange calipers. Looks like some sort of upgraded exhaust, NVIDIA exhaust system. Yep, so not a bad example. The price though isn't too good. I'd say for a 2018 with 20,000 miles, I'd be willing to go up to $47,000 for this car. Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's why I drive my LS430 Clean Whip, so I'm in the same boat. Like, I refuse to buy a newer car like this unless I get a super good deal, and I just haven't yet. I'm waiting. You know, I've been prepping the market by putting this information out there, and hopefully soon, one day, like, my efforts will come back to me and I'll get a really good deal on something because of what I put out in the universe. Anyway, so yeah, for this one, I say 47,000. It's overpriced. It doesn't even, it's not a 2019, and it doesn't have, it has more miles than the last example. Cool. Let's move on to the final place we look at ads. Car Gurus. I think it's the best place to look at ads, honestly, because they offer the best filtering system. You can filter all the sorts of accident history, frame damage, lemon title, salvage, everything. So let's get into it. 2016 RCF in white. The white does look good, especially with the red seats. It looks like it has. Yeah. So moving on to the interior, we're looking at the interior. Oh, already before that, we can see it has the carbon fiber roof. This is probably one of the best pictures of the carbon fiber roof. We really haven't seen it before. You have an E55? No way. That's dope. E55s are amazing cars. Congratulations. I was looking at E55, but I ended up buying the M6. But the E55, those things are holding their value like crazy. Like crazy. Like those have been 15K for the last 6 years. Is it a wagon? That would be tough if it was a wagon. Yeah, actually, what I gotta do in the Discord, because a bunch of you guys have cars. I know, yeah, you posted your car before, but I want everyone to like kind of post their cars and we can show each other our cars, because that's what it's all about, the community. Engine bay, again, looking real clean. As usual, with cars like these. Black carbon fiber, as it is a premium package car, because it has the carbon roof. You know it has a performance package. Because it has a performance package, you know it has the premium package. But let's see if it has Mark Levinson. So you can see, oh, this one is the rain. Oh, these buttons are going to be for the rain sensing wipers and heated steering wheel kind of stuff. Oh, I see. So maybe these are cold weather package buttons. No, it's not a wagon. No, I mean, the E55 is a great car. Those things, like, they can handle boost. I guess the only downside of the E55 is the 5-speed, but it is really robust. It can handle super amounts of torque, so it's not like, it's not that bad. I mean, 5-speed is not the best, but it's whatever. I don't see a Mark Levinson. Man, am I tripping? No, it does have Mark Levinson. So pretty much fully loaded car. TBD, as you can see, carbon fiber roof from the performance package, as well as having Mark Levinson, which means it's premium package, but we could see that too because it had the carbon fiber trim, which only comes in the premium package. Let's see, big screen, which is interesting because this is a 2016, but the screen looks big. I'm actually a little confused. Let's see. Let's see the back seats. Oh, it's just broken right now. What the fuel pump is broken? I really hope you fix that thing, because that's like, that is like one of the greats from the mid 2000s of Mercedes. Anything with the 55 that, what is it, a 5.4 liter supercharged? What engine does that have? Yeah. Anyway, those supercharged V8s, they're just timeless. So yeah, 2016. It has an upgraded screen though. Does it say anything about the screen? So this is even the wrong speaker setup. This has the Mark Levinson. Yeah, I'm not sure, but this one has a bigger screen, so they did some sort of upgrade with this car to make it more, you know, practical for daily use. It has the larger screen. I'd say because of this car being a 2016, having 21,000 miles, you know, they are kind of far off. It's 2016, but you know, these cars, as you can see, they're all super expensive. I'd say for having 21,000 miles, but being white on red, fully loaded with pretty much everything, I'd be willing to go up to $42,000 simply because it is a 2016. You have a 2006. Isn't that the last model year? Is that the last model year of the E55? I'm gonna look this up. AMG Wiki. E55 AMG. Yeah, it's the last model year. 2006. Yeah, man, you better hold on to that car, and I'm praying that you get it fixed, because that is an amazing car to have. In fact, it's really upsetting. Earlier this year, I had to sell my M6 to pay for bills, and it is one of the biggest regrets I have. I missed that car. Granted, it was giving me a lot of problems, but we're not talking about that. We're only remembering the good times. That car was so good. I had it for over 2 years. I put over 30,000 miles on it. I drove it literally all up and down the East Coast several times. Yeah, that car was amazing, and I didn't have any problems until like the last couple months of owning the car, which was very interesting. They all kind of came at once, which was what, yeah, it was the V10. It's that's what made me want to sell it. Was because first of all, I needed the money to pay for all these bills. Miami's super expensive to live. My rent was like $3,000. It was expensive, so I had to sell to pay bills, and it was misfiring. It had the starter issue, which was super prevalent on the E63 BMW V10s. The starter, like, it would just start randomly. So basically I had to hit the button like 30 times with a cold. It was cold, and I would just wait till it started. That was really inconvenient because it would take me like 5 or 10 minutes to leave in the morning because I was just waiting for my car to turn on. What else? Oh yeah, the headliner started sagging. Like, Florida destroyed my car. I don't know, because remember, this was a couple years ago. No, so the BMW V10, the BMW V10 is the S85 V10. It's a 5-liter. It's I believe it's I don't know. I don't want to say if it's even firing or odd firing. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's similar to a Lamborghini engine, except it's not. It's more similar to the pre-LP Gallardo engine, except the fact that the pre-LP Gallardo engine has a really long stroke when compared to the bore. And the BMW engine is the opposite. It's more F1. F1 have big bore and short strokes, so you can get way more RPMs. In fact, like the Gallardo pistons, when they're moving, like the actual velocity of the pistons is almost twice the speed of the S85 pistons, simply because the S85 pistons are moving like this, while the Gallardo pistons are moving like this. It's pretty insane how much, like, that's a ton of compression, and that's probably why, like, the Gallardo, the early engines, like, they were just so like punchy, is because they had such high compression, and the way the bore and stroke ratio was when compared to like you know, the S85, which is a really smooth engine. Yeah, let's get back to the ads. Where was I? Right here. Yep, this one I said 43 grand. Moving on to the next one, we have a silver example. This one is a 2015 first model year. We can see it is in silver, as I mentioned, with my favorite wheels. These are going to be those 20 spoke wheels. You're in Savannah, Georgia? Oh dang. I'm in Atlanta right now. Yeah, man. Hold on. Do I have any pictures of my? Hold on. It's on my Instagram, maybe. Oh, shout out to shout out to her and all IG models. But here's my V10. I miss this car so much. This was me. This is right before I moved out of Maryland in front of my high school. I went back. I obviously went to college. I didn't graduate high school and leave, but I went back to my high school. But yeah, I miss that car so much. Yeah, as you can see, like, man, I'm just reminiscing right now. If it will load, if it doesn't, whatever. But yeah, this is me driving, and I miss that car so much, man. But yeah, this, I'm telling you, this car, like, people don't like it the way it looks, but I really like the way it looks. But yeah, look how clean this look. Like, I cleaned the car and I took out the amber lights. Well, I'm lying. I didn't take out the amber lights. I put a sticker over the lights so it looks way better. All right, Tom, appreciate you coming in, man. Yeah, I'll be back on Monday at 3. So stay tuned. But yeah, you can see how beautiful Miami was. Definitely great to experience that place and live there for a couple years. However, you know, it gets old after a while, obviously. But yeah, dope place. Anyway, let's get back to the ads. It is getting late. It's Friday. I know you guys have places to go. Hey, shout out to DJ Inferno in the chat. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a great Friday. So we can see here, it has the carbon fiber spoiler, which means that it has the performance package. Also looking at the roof, you can see the carbon fiber roof. Gray on red car, very nice. Also, because it has a performance package, you know that it has TVD, and you can also see the Mark Levinson logo very small right here in front of the gear shift. So pretty much a fully loaded car. The only problem is it is a 2015, so it's going to be a first model year. You really don't want to get a first model year because you're going to have those first model year issues. Things get fixed, you know, as time goes on. But that being said, Lexus is really good about their recalls, and if a car has problems with this first model year or whatever, they always fix your car. Like, even if your seat wears prematurely, they will literally replace your seat if it's under warranty. Like, Lexus really, they want their customers to like the car. They want to keep their customers around, and they do. Like, people are really loyal to the brand, and it's because of their customer service. If you haven't actually been in a Lexus dealership, I suggest you go. It's like one of the nicest and most like relaxing places to be when compared to like any other type of dealership. But yeah, small screen, so, you know, it's a flaw of the 2017s and earlier. But for this one, they're asking 36.9. It has 99,000 miles. So this car has 100,000 miles, which is crazy because you'd never be able to tell. Look at this car. Like, where is the where? 100,000 miles. I thought I was about to say this car had low miles for some reason, but this car has 100,000 miles. The only thing I can really see maybe is wear on this dead pedal right here, the kick plate. But other than that, like, the leather looks new. It's crazy. These Lexuses, like, they just stand the test of time every time. Like, they never miss. But for having 100,000 miles, you know, that's pretty high for one of these. I would probably be around the 32.5 mark for something like this. Moving on, we have a 2015 example, another first model year. This one is going to be in blue. As we can see, I love the blue. Blue is probably my favorite RCF color. Take a look at the interior. We can see it is a black interior, nothing too fancy here. Looking over here, though, it does look like we have the TVD. You can barely see that button. Let's see if they have any closer shots of it. Yep, we can see the TVD button right here. So this does have the performance package as well. So that means that it has the premium package. You can also see that the Mark Levinson sticker is there as well. So that also means it has nav, which you can also see up here. So the car is pretty much fully loaded. It will have the triple beam lights as well because those come with the premium package. Carbon fiber as well, premium package. We can see it is a 2015 though, so it's going to have the small nav screen. I mean, you could take it or leave it. I don't really like the small nav screen. I really think that you should get a 2018 or newer simply because it's a Lexus. It's not going to be performance oriented, so it has to be luxury oriented, right? That's why I'm saying, like, if you're getting a Lexus, you have to get the most luxurious one, or else you should just get a Mustang, right? So one of these, I suggest getting a 2018 or newer simply for the screen, but I'll rehash that at the end, which we're almost there. We have only a couple more ads. But yeah, this is the Lexus dealer, what I was talking about. Look how nice it looks. They even took pictures of the dealership to let you guys know, like, this is a nice place to be. How do you check if the TVD is due? It's just gonna basically be making noises like any differential noise. You can get the big screen off eBay or Amazon. Yeah, I think, like, I saw this one. This one had a big screen in it, so I believe that's what he did. This is a 2016, and it has a big screen in it. I mean, yeah, you can always retrofit a car. I'm not saying that's always an option if you want to. I'm speaking from the fact that I want the most equipped stock car possible. But yeah, if you're gonna get a stinking deal on a car that's like not the 2018 and you're paying like a lot less, then yeah, go aftermarket for the screen. It's just a screen, and at least for me, like, only thing I'm gonna be playing through there is iTunes, but CarPlay. So it really doesn't matter if it's aftermarket. However, in terms of resale, that matters. But you're really not gonna lose much by getting you know, a pre I don't want to call it a facelift, but a 2017 versus 18 is not it's not going to be that much of a difference, and if there is, that's when you should do the aftermarket screen. So yeah, I was saying they're showing the Lexus dealership, which is pretty interesting. I was just talking about the Lexus dealership. This guy actually included it, but you can buy merch there. Got a merch store. This dealership looks so old. Like, this picture is like, these cars are new, but the dealership looks old. Anyway, so back to the car. It has the nice wheels too. So pretty much fully equipped car, but it is still a 2015. So we're gonna have to consider that into the price. $39,900 they're asking, which happens to be a great deal. I think it could be better. $39,900 they're asking, which happens to be a great deal. I think we could do better though. For having 49,000 miles, I'd say like I would be willing to go up to 38 grand, simply because it is not 38, 37 grand. Okay, let me restart that. For having 49,000 miles, I'd be willing to go up to 37 grand, simply because it is a fully loaded example of the car. Chatham Parkway. Chatham is that in the area, like in Georgia? Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I've only been in there to take my parents' cars there. I've actually never taken my own car to a Lexus dealership, simply because, you know, I'll just fix it myself. But yeah, 37. Moving on, we have a white example. This is going to be a 2017. We can already see kind of that it has a red interior. We can see it has the black. We can see it has the orange brake calipers as well. These wheels are going to be the standard wheels, not the upgraded wheels. So something to consider. Not really a big fan of these wheels. I don't think they look that great. However, if you get a good deal, you can always switch the wheels. Wheels aren't a end all or be all for a car. Remember that. Looking at the interior, we can see it is a red interior, but we also have a sunroof. So this is not a performance pack car. Also something you have to take into consideration. It has the base wheels and it's not performance pack. So we have to see whether or not it is a triple beam. It is not a triple beam car. I see double beam headlights here. So this car actually is completely base with a nice spec again in terms of visually. It seems like every base car just has a nice spec to it in terms of color, simply to add some value where it's lacking in the regular packages and stuff like that. So this one doesn't even have premium package. Yeah, it doesn't even have premium package, which is crazy. I just want to make sure I'm not like, these aren't the triple beams. I can't tell. The picture is too small. These are too blurry, man. Yeah, I'm gonna say these aren't the triple beams. They look, I see round bulbs in there. Triple beams are square. So this one being completely base, not even having premium package, one of the few, as you can tell, it also has the base wheels, one of the few of these base wheels. They're pricing at 41 grand and it has 73,000 miles. They're completely off. It is a 2017. It's not an 18, which could kind of command a little bit higher because of the upgraded nav screen. Excuse me. But for this one, I'd be around, it's a 2017. It has 73,000 miles though, so a ton of miles. Comparatively, I'd be around the $34,000 mark for this car, simply because it's a 2017. But I wouldn't really recommend buying this car because it doesn't really have any options at all. And then finally, our final example, we have a 2017. This one's going to be in red. The red looks really good. One of the very few examples that I saw in red. So, you know, based on that, the red is a little bit more rare. It's kind of in the same category as the blue. Interior is a black interior. I think this also has the performance package. We can see 3 buttons here. What we can see though is this carbon fiber trim, meaning it has the premium package. And then looking closely, we can see that it has the TBD button right here. And then also Mark Levinson system, meaning it's premium package, obviously. So pretty much fully loaded. It is a 2017, so you're still getting that small screen, unfortunately. However, you know, as Clean Whip said, you can always upgrade it. I'm trying to see if they have any videos with it on. Nope. Yep, but performance pack, TBD, Mark Levinson, premium package. One signature part of the Mark Levinson is the fact that it has the aluminum control knobs, which is pretty cool. So 2017, they're asking 45 grand for this car. And this is getting redundant, but these cars are so expensive. 45,000 miles. I'd say for having 45,000 miles and being a 2017, but being fully loaded, I'd be willing to go up to $41,000 for this car. So moving on, we have, let's see. Actually, that pretty much wraps it up. So yeah, if I were to recommend getting a car, I recommend a model year, I'd say get a 2018 plus. Obviously, all of them are going to be super expensive. So what you're really not missing out on paying a little bit more for that extra car, because you're not going to lose out on that in the long run, because it is going to be an upgraded car. You're going to be able to sell it for more. So it's not really losing. So I recommend getting a 2018 plus. So 2018 or 2019. Obviously, the facelifted cars are going to be a little bit more expensive than the pre-facelift cars. So I recommend staying underneath 20. So 18 and 19 would be the sweet spot for these cars. Although, comparatively speaking to the other cars it competes with in its class, you're going to be paying a lot more. That is something that you can't avoid with these cars, especially given the rarity. People didn't buy these cars when they came out new. They had to do significant discounts just to move them out the door. And because of that, the production numbers were cut, and therefore they are rare. You're not going to find a lot of these. In fact, I probably see one every 6 months maybe. And that's me looking. Like I'm actively looking for cars. So it's not like they just pass by me. Like I barely see these cars. They're super rare. But that adds to the desirability and adds to the price, obviously. So, excuse me. If I were to suggest a spec to get, I suggest getting red interior. That's personally what I would get, because that just, brings the highest amount of attention when you're trying to resell the car. Obviously, if you're not looking for attention, then it's not a make or break part of the deal. But red leather interior, I think, will sell the highest when you resell the car eventually. Also, you don't have to get the performance package. You really don't need it. A lot of people actually like having sunroofs, which I think is kind of strange. I've had sunroofs in all my cars, so maybe like I think it's normal, and I don't really care. Like I could go without a sunroof. I don't really like use it that much in the cars that I have it on. So this if it doesn't have a sunroof, it's gonna have the carbon fiber roof, which deters some people. Some people who aren't very performance oriented people, or they don't really care about the kind of stuff. They're gonna be like, why doesn't it have a sunroof? Like that's cheap. Like cheap cars don't have sunroofs. Sunroofs are an expensive luxury option. So some people think that way about this car, even though they don't understand that it is an RCF. So that plays a role into the market, so the performance package with the carbon fiber roof and the TVD. Oh, also the TVD having a $25,000 retail price tag deters a lot of people from getting the performance package as well. So think about that yourself. Do you want those problems? Is it worth having the carbon fiber roof for that risk? Maybe. Or the carbon fiber wing? Maybe. I don't know. But the TVD, if it goes bad, will be problematic. And you also have to think that if you don't get the performance package, you're still getting a Torsen limited slip differential that comes standard in every car. So you're not really losing out if you don't get the performance package. In fact, you're kind of setting yourself up, like you're giving yourself a safety by not getting it. So yeah. He said, I'm good. He said, we're not getting it. We're not getting this car. It's not worth it. Yeah, this car is very special. This car is for a very special buyer. Yeah, me too. I don't really, the performance package is cool for resale, but I don't think it's really that necessary. The LSD is good. Plus, I don't want that repair cost. 25 grand is ridiculous. I don't even how is it that expensive? Why would you put a $25,000 part in a car? That's more expensive than an engine. I don't get it. Why is that so expensive? Why did they develop that? Why is it, why didn't they, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer it. Anything else you want to talk about? If not, I'll probably head out and get my weekend started. These car reviews have been getting kind of hectic. I mean, not hectic, but it's kind of dope seeing because my channel is actually doing it's not doing bad. We're growing at a steady rate. People are actually trying to people are actually participating in the chat now, which is dope. I remember for the first 40 episodes, I would get 4 chats a show, and now people are actually talking in it. That's amazing. And yeah, this car is not a good track car. I'd say this. There's a caveat to that statement, is that a lot of people actually look at this car because they can track it if they wanted to, but it also is a really good daily. So a lot of people nowadays, I'm sure everyone's familiar, cars are super expensive. Not everyone can afford to have their daily and the track car. So the type of buyer who buys something like this wants something really nice, but only wants one car for some reason, but also wants to go to the track sometimes, maybe occasionally, once a year maybe. And so they would get something like this. But yeah, people who buy something like this usually do so because they want a car that can do it all. Yeah, of course the M3 will walk circles around it. Yep, M3 will walk circles around it, and you can get it for cheaper. But yeah. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. I like the RCF. I respect people who buy it. I respect people who actually put the money where their mouth is and actually buy this car. Every time I see one out, I really always say hi to the person because I'm like, first of all, I like looking at them. Usually they're pretty done up. When you find someone who actually has an RCF, you barely see any stock ones driving around. They're all usually like pretty souped up. So they're pretty cool cars. They sound really good. A lot of people underestimate that sound of that naturally aspirated V8. It sounds really good, like really good. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Shout out to the 5 people that have been staying in the chat for 1.5 hours. 6 people now. Someone just tuned in. Shout out to everyone in here. I will see you guys on Monday, 3 o'clock. I don't even know what cars I'm going to do next week. Next week, actually, hold up. I have my notebook. Where did I put it? That's strange. I had a notebook with my schedule in it, but the notebook is gone. Oh, I see it. Give me 1 second. Hold up. Can you guys hear me? My camera went out for some. Oh, we're good. Yeah, no so purists buy this car. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think people who like good quality things will buy this car. People who don't like headaches will buy this car. I think it's the quality that sells this car overall. So yeah, I have my schedule here. Right now, it looks like next week is going to be my high performance SUV week. You guys can let me know what you think about that. So high performance SUVs, I'm going to be doing, but not limited to these. I could be doing other ones, but this is just ideas I had. The Cayenne GTS, the X6M, V8 Raptor, Audi SQ5, and Trackhawk. I think those are going to be some good videos for next week. A lot of people are looking at those, so yeah, I'm going to get those done next week. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and as always, be safe. Have a good one.